Hi folks, welcome to part 13 of Project Boris, aka the gas-based quintessence here on the Luthier's Lair. I do have some notes somewhere about what's going to happen in this episode, and they're out of my head right now, so I have to go and look at my computer because I'm such a professional. That's right, we're going to finish the neck. Yeah, we are, and we're going to polish the body. Now, if this is all successful, then we're free to go and install electronics and stuff like that, but that won't happen until the next part, probably. This is looking like a 16-part series. I really did want to document this build in its fullest, so that people can sort of learn from it and learn from the experiences I've had building this as it stands right now, a one-off base. But I'm having such a blast with it. I mean, notwithstanding the difficulties that I've had, this has been a fantastic build, just from an educational standpoint. So let's go and get on with it. So the frets have been levelled, crowned, recrowned and polished. Now I'll show you that a little later on, but for now we're going to put some dot markers in, and this is the sort of thing you use for a dot marker. They're dot marker sticks actually. And what I usually do is I take a stick, and what I've done, these are 2mm in diameter, so I've drilled 2mm diameter holes where the dot marker should go. 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 17, 19, 21 and 24. So all we do is we have some tight bond in here in this little tub. I put a little bit on the end of that dot marker. I'm just going to put the stick in here. Don't worry about squeeze out, that's fine. And I'm going to cut it slightly proud there, okay? Quite a bit proud actually. And then do the same thing again. It's a bit too much. Make sure that's in there. And cut it again, slightly proud. Okay, just roll that about. One here, that's in, there, that's good. And just keep going. Might as well do the whole lot, while you're watching. Now, what I did with these, I'm so used to doing these that I can eyeball these and they're always bang on centre. It's just, I used to draw out center points on it and stuff, but the most important thing is to use a tiny center punch to get the drill started, because it can slip and completely ruin all your hard work. That's not fun, is it? So we keep going down here, and sometimes I put 2 dots in. 1 dot suffices for this. With a 24 fret fingerboard, that's fine. And Laurent's happy with that. Not too much over elaboration on this base, so single. See, I don't waste anything. Typical Scotsman, I guess. See, a little stick goes a long way, and I've still got one left. I have to throw that away, it's too small for me to handle. And then the last one goes in. There we go. Okay. And we'll give that about an hour to cure up, and then we'll snip it as flat as we can, and then we sand it with a rubber sanding block and some 400 grit, and we'll be fine. Then we're ready to tape off the neck for finishing the neck at the back there. Cool. So as promised, here's the neck, the fingerboard with the frets installed, levelled, crowned and polished. Not the highest polish yet because I still have a lot of work to do on the neck. I'll bring it up to the highest polish after the work is finished, but there's the dot markers and you can see them sticking proud there. Yeah, there's one. And another one there and one there. Yeah, the nut is going to be brass. Need to get out of the way here. There you go. The nut's going to be a brass nut in here, which will match the gold alloy frets. But all looking good. I think that's looking okay. And even down the side there, here. Yeah, looks good. So, well on our way. I'll wait till these dot inlays on the, well, fret markers actually, dry up, and I'll snip them down, sand it, and then we'll be ready to mask off the fingerboard to apply the finish to the back of the neck, which I'm thinking will be boiled linseed oil. Yes, my trusty go-to, because it doesn't make the fingerboard, it doesn't make the back of the neck sticky when you sweat like a poly finish would do or a high gloss finish would do. High gloss doesn't really look that good on the back of the neck anyway, I don't think. But there you go. Onwards and upwards. Cool. Okie doke, folky wokies. All nice and sanded smoothly, all the tool marks out here. Time to apply a finish, or the finish actually on this one. It's going to be boiled linseed oil here, and I like to sort of dilute it with mineral spirits. Some people say no, don't do that. And why boiled linseed oil? Well, I've said in other episodes that pure linseed oil, if you let that soak into the wood, it will never cure. Okay, it's boiled linseed oil for a reason, because boiling it brings it to the point of polymerization, which means it will cure. That's all you need to know. Boiled linseed oil. Okay, so we're going to put a wee ticky in here. Okay, close that, put that down there, and I'm going to get some odorless mineral spirits, and we're going to pour about half again in there. Okay, that's the mix I like. I used to go 40-60, I go 50-50 now, and we'll stir this up a little bit. Just give it a nice little stir there, make sure it's all mixed up, which it is now. Get rid of this stick, and my applicator of choice is a t-shirt or a lint-free cotton rag. The cotton t-shirts are pretty good for this. You got old ones, save them back, and then just dip that in there. It's got a slightly yellow colour, and just apply it. Just apply it. Okay, probably better doing the sides first, like so. I'm going to put about 3 or 4 coats of this on, so don't worry, it will blend, so don't worry at all about that. Yeah, put some on the heel, I want that to be sealed. The heel is sealed, you know, and I've got this propped up on a couple of sticks here, you know, just to make things a little easier. Ooh, that's the first coat, right? Just going into here a little bit. I'll be doing the headstock sort of separately. I don't want to do it all at once. It just separates out the work, makes it a lot easier. Now, that's going to be dry to the touch, the first coat. So you can go ahead and put a second coat on right now. And then after that, leave it 15 minutes, wipe it down, then apply your third and fourth coat. I think that'll be 4 for this. Let's just get rid of that excess by going down here on the sides again. See, I don't need to be really brash with applying this. All you're doing is smoothing it in. The wood will do the rest. And then when you come to wait the 15 minutes, then wipe it down, voila, the rest comes off, and the stuff that you did apply has soaked into the wood already. So it's really quite an easy process. And maybe I should have taped this down to these. I might think about doing that. I don't like to use too much tape, although I did tape off the fingerboard, but it's going to get the same treatment. But I don't want too much gunk getting built up, so I'm doing it one step at a time, which is always the best idea. Okay, we're going to leave that 15 minutes. I'll judge whether it needs to be wiped down or not. If it does, I'll wipe it down a little bit, just with a shop towel. Make sure there's no lint in there. And then I'll apply 3-4 coats afterwards. And it'll be silky smooth and the wood will be sealed and protected. Cool. Well folks, this is the 2K clear coat I had to put in 2 separate spray sessions. The first session ended up with a broken can, so I only had to use 1 on this. Usually it's kind of enough, but I really wanted to go large with this, so I ordered another can, and about 5 days later I scuff sanded this down to, like, I think it was 400 grit, and then sprayed again, 3 coats. So it's like 6 coats minus a couple of coats I stripped off with a scuff, so it should be okay. Now that was 48 hours ago I put this coat on, and according to most sources you can level sand this after 48 hours. I used to wait a week, I might still do, but I've got it lying on a soft cloth here, and I've had it lying there for about 15 minutes, and I want to pick up the base here, and if it sticks, no, it didn't stick, and there are no cloth marks on the back, so I'm going to let it lie again for about an hour this time, and if there's any cloth dimple marks in it, you know, I keep inspecting it. I know it's not cured properly, but I think with 2K they say 36 hours. I mean, I usually leave it minimum 48, and which I've done, so I think this might be okay to start level sanding, but I won't do that until I'm absolutely positive. Now if I have any smidgen of doubt, I will leave it another day or maybe 2 days just to see. But the coat went on really well. There's tiny air bubbles there I can see, but they will go away with flat sanding. The orange peel that you usually get from shrinkage in a coat is minimal, and it's very small cells. Sometimes if it's not a good coat, you'll see big cells of orange peel in there, but it's not. It's very very small cells, which means it has shrank in, and there's no delamination either. That's another thing you have to watch out for when you have to scuff sand between coats, that you key the wood properly, or you key the surface properly with the sandpaper, so that you get mechanical adhesion. That's very important. Otherwise it's going to delaminate and you'll get plastic just peeling off, you know. And that's what polyurethane is. It's a plastic. Most guitars are finished with plastic. If it's like, you know, nitrocellulose, whatever, you know, it's not really a plastic, but yeah, polyester is another very popular coating for guitars, and that's a plastic, polyester, and it's actually the hardest. It's harder than 2K polyurethane, actually, but it's much harder to work after the fact. So you sort of go in between, and well, we'll see what happens with this. It looks really nice right now, and I'm actually glad that Laurent, my customer, opted for the darker sort of walnut stain in the black limber, because we've got all these beautiful variations in the wood, especially that piece there. It's beautiful. So I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he changed my mind. I was all for making it a little more pale, and a few people on the Facey thought that too, but yeah, I actually stand corrected also. So cool, let's go. Okay guys, yeah, guys and dolls and all sorts, look, we're going to try and figure out whether this is ready to level sand or not. Now, like I said, I did a cloth test and it passed. It's rock solid. After this is 48 hours. Now some people say 24 hours is enough, 36, you know, 48. I've waited a week before, and something is very hard to work after a week. So I did this. This is 800 grit, and look at that. It's white powder. That means it's pure. If it's white like that and does not stick, you don't get gumminess as you scour. Now the rest I'm going to do wet sanding, okay? But just to prove that it's ready to be level sanded, and I'm using a rubber block. I will switch to a hard maple block here after the fact, but just to be very careful, I tried it with 800 grit and a soft eraser as a sanding block. As you can see, it's kind of pilling up as well, but not much, which means yeah, it's good to go. This is good to wet sand now. So let me just, it should take on a dull appearance, but feel like it's absolutely flat, and it does. And if I look around the light here, I can just see very tiny speckles of orange peel at 800 grit, which is a great sign. It's a great sign. I don't see any sign of delamination around the corners or the edges here on the back, so it's the perfect time to start wet sanding. And so I have 2 pieces of 800 grit sandpaper that have been soaking in mineral spirits, not water. Why not water? Because water will stay inside any open pores that I go over, like screw holes there for the neck, stuff like that. Mineral spirits will just evaporate out of there, will not cause swelling, anything else like that, or cracks, which I definitely don't want cracks in the finish if I've got the finish down to this level, you know. So we'll go and we'll start wet level sanding at 800, then we'll go to 1000, 1500, 2000 and 3000 grit. It's a long process, it's very much worth it. Then after that we'll start using polishing compounds, or you know, cutting compounds at, you know, like sort of 5,800, 5,000, 8,000 and 12,000 grit type polishing compounds with good buffing pads, and we'll get this to a high mirror finish. Let's go. Yes, 2K to the rescue. I have sanded the whole body down to, actually I got away with 3,000 grit, 800, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 and 3,000 grit, so 5 passes. I'm now onto the polishing stage. I've already done my rough cut polishing with Norton's liquid ice. Now on the final polish, and I'm using a medium firmness pad for this, and then final pass will be with this soft pad here. So these are all like 3M products, and I'm going to use also the 3M Perfected EX 39062 fine polishing compound. So we're going to go with that. I've made sure the surface is absolutely clean using some denatured alcohol. I do have a fluid here from Chemical Guys, very good fluid for cleaning the body after the fact. Use different rags or different cloths for cleaning. One to take the stuff off, you know, en masse, and then another cloth in the back here, just to you know, buff it off after it's dried up a bit. You don't want to take it off when it's still wet. Well, kind of wet is when you want to take it off. Anyway, so I'm going to put some of this on. You don't need much. I'm going to dab that on the body, like so. Let me get this out of the way now. Okay, that's kind of all you need. And then get the pad, and we're going to put the some of this stuff on the pad, quite a bit actually. And yeah, you should sort of wipe that in with a shop towel. Usually a lint-free cloth is more appropriate for this. The shop towel's fine though, no lint coming off of those. These are good quality shop towels I have. And just got a big blob there. And then we smear that on the body, just to cover it, get it all slick. And then let's start polishing, shall we? Yes. Now the secret to getting a good buff and polish is don't let the surface get too dry. If it's drying up, use less pressure or just redo it. Let's do the comfort carve here. That's it. I'm just going to let it sit for a couple of minutes, then I'll wipe it off and I'll show you the result. Cool. Do not put too much pressure on either. Well, that's about it for this part, which is 13 I think. Yeah, the next part, hopefully we can make a start on, you know, maybe getting the electronics started. You know, seeing if the base is actually going to be alive at some point, and we'll go from there. But we'll see. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun either way, right? Anyway, if you like what I do on this channel, apart from that bit, consider subscribing if you haven't already. It really helps me out. It really does. It helps me keep making these videos. Give me a thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications of future uploads. You will be notified right on your phone or wherever you've got notifications set up. Maybe you turn them off. Maybe you turn the notifications off. In that case, just click it anyway. It'll be fun. That was awful. Okay. As usual, Stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much for watching once again, folks. Cheers. Bye bye.